Elentila Lumenomentievo. Welcome to Tolkien on Tap. I'm TJ. Grab a drink and enjoy Almien.
Yeah, I love the serendipity of all the characters of the Council of Elrond coming together. And so that is like one thing that is like, because like in the book club / Tolkien community that I run, we talk a lot about hashtag Eru's plan. It's kind of like a running joke, but like it kind of ultimately was like part of Eru's plan that all of these individuals ended up in Imladris at the same time. And we're not summoned there for a council. Like it just like, but that's also aside. That is one of the reasons why I think that scene between Boromir and Faramir that's only in the extended editions in Osgiliath is so important. Because it establishes the brotherhood between Boromir and Faramir. It establishes, like, it kind of starts to establish, like, Denethor's character, who we otherwise don't meet until Return of the King.
Yeah.
Like, it sort of sets that stage for...
It establishes that he already sucks, which will be important in a minute.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's... When people tell me that they watch the theatrical versions, I'm like...
Have you noticed it's become a thing recently where people are like, listen, controversial opinion, but I'd rather watch the theatrical cut of Lord of the Rings. Like, the fuck planet are you living on? I can understand.
This is all I have to say to you people.
I can understand telling someone who's never watched them.
Yeah, I feel like
there.
But no, it's for maybe
that's a
45 minutes to an. I know it's a lot of movie. I know it's a lot of movie.
Never watched Lord of the Rings to
fucking Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, but Avengers Endgame is still paced like a movie. The thing about the extended editions,
it's one movie.
The thing about the extended editions is that they are a little bit more paced like books, which is wonderful for us and wonderful for any number of Tolkien fans. But I will defend.
I can agree with that at least.
That the theatrical editions are probably a good place to start for someone who doesn't care about fantasy, doesn't know anything about this, and isn't already like, oh my gosh, this seems amazing. Like,
but I would argue that I think that scene deserves to be in the theatrical cut of the film.
Oh yeah, I have all kinds of
I can agree with as well.
Yeah, I have all kinds of beef about what's in the extended.
They could have taken out some of the shit in Osgiliath
100%.
And just put that scene in, or just put that scene in. It's like what, like a minute and 40 seconds long.
Yeah.
So speaking of Osgiliath, I in preparation for this, I watched one video instead of like rereading the books and watching all three movies. And the show and three other movies and three other movies. At any rate, it was, I can't remember who it was by, but it's like a short video essay of, is my microphone like not loud enough? I feel like I leaned back in my chair and it wasn't.
It's okay, but yeah, that's
okay. I couldn't hear myself as well in my cans, is what you call them in the biz.
In the biz.
Yeah. I can't remember what channel it was on, but it was on the YouTubes, and like, I'm gonna say things like I'm an 80-year-old man now. For any 80-year-olds listening, I'm so sorry. But I was watching a video on the YouTubes a little bit ago, and they were talking about like the adaptation and why the films feel so Tolkienian. And
I watched that video.
There's a couple of videos. There's
why
a couple
it
things,
still feels like Tolkien.
Yeah.
Even in the places where it doesn't.
Yeah, which is, it's such a weird argument. It's an interesting argument, but like the way he went about it was not my favorite. But and there was a couple things he said, like he was like, and the Rings of Power, he basically was saying like Rings of Power sucks, and like
that's the only reason I don't like that guy's channel. Otherwise, I like the video,
but the thing is, he was like, the things that this is what threw me. He started off the video saying like, but the same things that people are complaining about Rings of Power could be applied to Lord of the Rings. And I was like, oh, thank God, someone who understands. And then he went on to praise Lord of the Rings and bash Rings of Power. And I was like, this motherfucker.
Yeah,
dude,
it's like, what?
Dude, you literally just admitted that they fucking do the same thing,
Yeah.
and yet somehow Peter Jackson's better than fucking Patrick and oh God, what's it, JD? I think is his name.
I think that sounds right. It's some
Yeah.
letters.
But
I
anyways, they
have a
talked
lot of
about
thoughts about it.
Osgiliath, and they talked about the reason that in the film, and I can't remember, Jen, you may have to correct me since you consume the appendices from the film so often, was that Philippa Boyens, I believe it was her specifically, said that the because of the Battle of Helm's Deep and how that has a climax and an ending and everything, and Frodo and Sam didn't. They wanted to give them something that wasn't Shelob's lair because that was too much of a climax, which is why they moved Shelob's lair. And by moving that and giving them a climax, they had to take them to Osgiliath. And by having to take them to Osgiliath, they had to change Faramir's character. And I was like, listen, I love these movies. I will continue to say this before I say anything negative because like I really do love these films. But like that's not I don't understand that decision whatsoever. Like you didn't they don't Frodo and Sam don't need to have a closing of an arc for that movie. Like you could have let them still be walking and like you could have still had the Gollum like that could have been like the cliffhanger of Gollum saying we could let her do it would have been
could have just happened in Ithilien
exactly
without the side trip.
Well, and that's going to be an aside for my defense of Faramir is I have no defense for them going down to Osgiliath. I don't know why they couldn't have done what they did just in Ithilien.
So the reason being that at least it seems like from the appendices from the movies is that there wasn't enough for Frodo and Sam to do. Okay. Well, it's Frodo and Sam's story. I'm sorry, it's Gandalf's. I understand it's also Frodo and Sam and Mary, but it's
well,
everyone.
The thing that struck me, just as an aside, the thing that struck me when I reread the books is how rarely you get a not Hobbit POV.
Yeah.
The third book and the third movie is called The Return of the King. Why is the story gotta be all about Frodo?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, no shade on Frodo. I'm not saying no shade on Frodo.
Yeah.
But
real quick, let me tangent since we brought up Frodo. He also had massive character assassination because the amount of fucking people that have to say like, well, Samwise is a real hero because Tolkien's the chief hero. Motherfucker, he's Sam's the chief hero in the fact that he is your point of view character. He is everyone's point of view character. You know why? Because Merry and Pippin and Frodo are the fucking aristocracy of the Shire. Gimli is the fucking son of a lord. Legolas is the son of a king. Gandalf is a fucking angel. Boromir, the son of a steward. Aragorn, the fucking king. So of course Samwise is going to be your entry level or entry point to the story. He's the everyman. That's what he means by chief hero. He does not mean tear Frodo down to build Sam up.
Yeah.
He also points out that Samwise is a fucking jerk to Gollum and Gollum would have repented at the stairs of Kid Thungol, which by the way is one of my favorite passages ever written.
The description of how Gollum changes the moment Sam addresses him, like dagger to the heart.
Yes.
Just before that, the way it says if someone had looked, they would have seen an old hobbit or however. It's a long passage where he's describing Gollum. I love it so much. I remember the first time I read that and it touched me so much. But anyways, Frodo's character assassination is ridiculous, and I am very soon recording a podcast episode about defending 100%. Frodo, and I will never ever stand for Frodo slander. Elijah Wood is a phenomenal actor.
I'll talk about
absolutely.
Elijah was a phenomenal actor.
Yeah,
that Frodo is not book Frodo. Everyone who engages in that shit is doing rage bait or they've never read the books.
Yeah, well, also,
anyways, I'm sorry. I'm gonna get off of this horse that's very tall right now.
Even aside from that, although yes, let's do a whole episode on that. Like, I think it's even movie Frodo that's unfair too. Like, he's not just whiny; he's broken, and that's the point. That's part of why the Faramir situation isn't warm as well. This is an aside, but I'm going to use it to tie back into to go back in. But it's a good tangent anyway. Is that like in the books are so much about like journey and like the stuff that happens on a journey, and a big part of that is like where they get food and things like that. And that's less important in a movie, just which makes sense to me in the world of making a movie. And so in the book, the time with Faramir is complete relaxation. They get a full reload of their food.
They get to eat that fucking stew.
Yeah. They get to eat the stew. That's the worst part. But like
the worst fucking part.
They get peace. And like from a like movie making standpoint, it makes sense to me why they would choose to not give them a time of peace and recovery, because in a however many word, trilogy of books, you can do that and it doesn't break up. But in a movie, that's about the suffering, that's still only 3 to 4 hours long, which feels long for a movie, but is short for a book. Like you feel that too much. If they had a full scene that was fully the like peace and welcome that Faramir offered, I feel like it would break from the pain.
That's fair.
That would have played.
I still don't think Osgiliath is necessary.
No, I even in my defense of movie Faramir that I'm gonna do, that I'm steering back to, like Osgiliath, why? Just leave the secret cave and do this on the hill. But
yeah, have the Sam speech in Athelian, have all of it happen in Athelian.
The Nazgul, whatever. I don't know.
Not even the Nazgul.
No. Well, I'll get to that in a second. But Osgiliath is fine. I hate that. But steering back, those are great tangents, by the way. That's not to, we support ADD here. So this is a universe where the specifics of the ring's power are known. Denethor has been a crazy, abusive to his son's jerk for at least a year, possibly longer. So that's the universe we're in. This is not like, oh, there's some mysterious old weapon of the enemy. There's the big evil ring that we've all known about. And it's there. And so you have Faramir, who's been just abused by his awful father for at least a year, maybe longer. Maybe since the moment his mom died, Denethor went crazy. So and so I think this is where the appendices and Philippa Boyne's comments in the appendices really have hurt a lot of people. Because the thing that I noticed on my last read through, like, because I read through and then rewatched the movies just the end of last year, and if I found it by the wayside, and if if Gondor were falling and I alone could save it, still I would not use the ring. Philippa Boyne references Faramir saying that and calls it like, oh, that diminishes the ring's power. It's not excised from the story. It is moved. Movie Faramir says that to his deranged, ring-obsessed father's face. So, like, yes, he's not as noble as book Faramir, but it could be argued movie Faramir,
he has character growth.
Yeah, and he gets there. Yeah, the movies are obsessed with giving everybody an arc.
For those who aren't watching, Jen looks incredibly happy to have said that.
I'm doing heavy air quotes.
I have completely changed her
character growth.
Yeah. For those of you
because just kidding. Giving Aragorn an arc, again, heavy air quotes.
Yeah, I'm gonna defend that one too.
George, did you really want to do this episode just so you could like defend the movies? You sly dog.
No, well, listen, no, there's plenty I hate in the movies, and we'll get to that too. I'm sure. But like, I find this, like, when I reread and rewatched this, like, I was very interested in like plenty of things made me mad, but not all of the same things. And now all of this to say, still 100%. Book Faramir is a billion times better than movie Faramir. I fully concede that. But
they're not the same person in my mind.
Fair. But it is a different universe, and there are some different rules. And to me, like, movie Faramir makes sense in the context of movie Denethor and movie Ring. To me, I feel like
That's
Faramir is the
fair.
same, but his universe that he's been given is just a little bit different in enough way that, like, he's not directly tempted by the ring. He is afraid of and seeking the approval of his abusive father.
Mm-hmm.
The movie Faramir is not tempted by the ring. It's not like, oh, I could have that ring.
No, it's very clearly about a chance for Faramir, Captain of Gondor, to show his quality, which is another reason why I think that scene in Osgiliath is so important
Yes, I
to
cannot believe that's
have in
yes,
the
yes, yes,
theatrical
yes.
cut.
And
Because otherwise, that makes Faramir's line, a chance for Faramir, Captain of Gondor, to show his quality, make no sense. It comes out of nowhere.
yeah,
It feels so much more impactful when you have the context of Denethor saying it to Faramir, like
yes,
very mockingly. Like,
yeah.
oh yes, a chance for Faramir, Captain of Gondor, to show his quality. I think not.
No, that's the one thing I love about this. As much as I do love book Faramir far more than movie Faramir, I'm gonna keep saying that. But to turn a chance for Faramir to show his quality into a shitty thing his dad said, that then sweet little Samwise Gamgee makes an encouragement. You have shown your quality, sir, the highest.
The very
Like,
highest.
yeah, that is so good. It's
Mm-hmm.
so good. So to me, movie Faramir is the same as book Faramir. He's just in this different universe where
Mm-hmm.
movie Denethor and movie The One Ring are different and creating a
Also,
different universe.
the movies are made in a universe where perfect men do not exist,
Yes. And actually, I've been thinking about this.
which is a
Sorry.
real shame for all of us that we don't live in a world where perfect men
Sure.
exist.
True. Um,
Fair.
and I will
Alas.
say, one thing that I appreciate, but I don't have super faith that it was done on purpose. That the Aragorn arc and making Isildur just basically a minor antagonist instead of a noble person who made a horrible choice, um, is that it sort of completely removes the like higher men and lower men, which
Mm,
like there's so many places which like can be a problematic Tolkien thing. And in
mhm.
so many places, the Peter Jackson movie take what's mildly problematic in the books and make it just white guys are good and look at these bad brown people.
Dude, could you imagine if they had included Gunburigan?
Oh
How
my
how
God.
terribly that would have
That
gone.
same
Oh.
thought reading that, I was like, oh,
Khandari Khan is done justice in Lotro, so just rest
Is
assured.
he?
awesome.
So the
Oh
I
thing
yeah.
is
love that.
with him, it's hard enough to read those passages. If you listen to the Andy Serkis audiobook, I had it on like 2 times speed,
Oh,
and it's still
nice.
terrible. It's still
I
terrible.
can't remember if I had gotten,
It makes it worse because he does like a really like.
oh, yikes.
All right, so it's already a trope, right? It's already a noble
It's already
savage
the
trope.
noble savage
Right, right,
trope.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Ooh,
And then
Mm,
he adds that voice on top of it.
yikes.
Andy, my
Ugh.
man.
I
Oh,
I
it's
can't
not a good
remember
look. It's not a good look.
because I went through the audiobooks, but I went through very chaotically because I
I appreciate that.
already owned the Robert Inglis ones.
Okay.
Then
Mm,
I was trying to get the Andy Serkis ones like from like my Libby from my library.
mhm.
And so I kept like finishing a book and then like, well, the next one's not up, so I guess I'll listen to the Robert Inglis one. And
Yeah.
then like it would come up on Libby finally, and I'll switch over to Andy Serkis.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't remember. I feel like I was listening to Robert Inglis at that point. And he's also not great.
Yeah. I
It's
don't
it's
the
it's
thing
like
is like
watching the
if there
Peter
was
Pan cartoon. It's
anything
so bad.
yeah, if there was anything that needed to be rewritten, it was at the very least the dialogue of Khan.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, it's so bad.
I
But
always put a D in his name for some fucking reason. My mind just goes, it needs to be Gand. It's not. It's Khan.
oh,
Mhm.
yeah,
Anyways, but
that's the part. Yeah, I wasn't even reading along at that point, so I actually hadn't even thought about it.
yeah,
Um, but
I
yeah, but
just
that's
always
the
put a
thing
D.
that like making Isildur just bad
Mhm.
and Aragorn's bloodline a thing that he's kind of ashamed of, while we may not like it for some of the cooler world building reasons, and also because Isildur is a very interesting character in his own. It does kind of help us away from the like, this group of white men are higher than the others and better. So it's like, yeah, it's a little more pessimistic than Tolkien is, but it also is kind of a nice way to sidestep some of the stuff. So I'm torn on it. I much prefer Rings
I
of
don't
Power.
necessarily see the Numenorians as white people.
Well, that's the problem. I am conceding two things to Peter Jackson. I also don't view them as white people,
Yeah.
but that is consistently what Peter Jackson did with his casting for both.
Oh, okay, so I
Dunedain
see where you went. Okay, I see where you
and
went.
yeah, all good guys are white people. Literally, the only actors
Yep.
of color in any of those movies play orcs or
Mhm.
Sauron. That is it.
Mhm.
Or the Witch King.
Oh yeah, that's who it is. That's
Or
probably who it is,
yeah.
not Sauron.
Lance, what's his name?
Lawrence
Lawrence
McQuarrie.
McQuarrie. Yeah,
Yes.
there you go. I said Lance for some reason.
Lance.
Yeah.
Um,
Real quick, just for Faramir, we're gonna raise a glass, and I'm gonna read this real quick. If you're ready. I do not love the bright sword for its sharpness, nor the arrow for its swiftness, nor the warrior for his glory. I love only that which they defend. Jimmy,
yes. And he's
by the way,
speaking
this
to
is
his
not watching.
dad there, right?
No, he's
Oh,
talking to Frodo and Sam.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I have an art print of that on my wall.
I want that actually. I know I've got green screen on, and people are listening instead of watching sometimes too. But over there in my room is I actually took it off the wall in my kitchen. It's my favorite line from Lord of the Rings. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us, not given to us. I don't know why that bothers me.
Oh, that's me with
Because
not
we're nerds.
all those who wander are lost. When people say
Mhm.
not all who wander are lost, I'm like, you're missing a word.
Yeah.
Those, thank you.
Those. Not all
Let me be
those.
pedantic. Yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah.
We're Tolkien fans. We're allowed that a little bit.
Have I had too much yet?
I don't know. Maybe not.
Maybe it's
That's a
starting to
good
get to
idea.
me. Maybe it's starting to get to me.
Maybe. Yeah.
That's why I brought the gallon with me instead of just like a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I ran out last time. This is I wonder if
Mm,
this is gonna be one of those ones where like I stand up and suddenly I'm like wasted. Because that's what happened when you were on last time.
with the maid. Yeah. It's deceptive.
It is.
It sneaks up on you. Like
Yeah.
it totally does. But
Yeah. I think I'm gonna you know what? I'm gonna try this out. I'm gonna walk away for a minute. You two hang out and talk for a minute. And I'm gonna see if like standing up and letting the blood flow through gets me a little bit more drunk. All right, I'll be right back. You can feel George in on that.
Yeah, catch me up.
we're testing the drunkenness by standing up and walking around.
Oh.
Because the last time I was on, TJ and I both had my mead.
Oh yeah.
And that mead is very deceptive because it does not taste like alcohol at all. You can't taste it at all. And like almost every single person that I know, like, so I made it initially for my Rings of Power premiere party back in 2022. And I had some friends who drank it, and like after, because they dropped the first 2 or 3
I think two.
two, yeah. So basically we like had the party and then we watched the first 2 episodes, and when my friends like stood up to leave, they like immediately sat back down and they were like, yeah, so we're gonna have to hang out for like another hour or so. I was like, yeah, I'm glad I'm at home.
Oh, I
Because it
love
is
that.
a very strong. But you don't feel it. Like you don't feel it until you like stand
Get
up and then
a
you're
little
like,
bit of movement. Yeah.
you're like, oh shit, like what have I done?
Yeah, I sort of had the opposite. I mean, I'm definitely getting there, but I got up and I was like, just got up a minute ago and I was like, I could be drunker right now. So
I could be way drunker
I
right
made
now.
some more.
I will get way drunker. I must be a little inebriated. I forgot to turn. Oh, I'm slurring. There it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
All
there
right.
you go.
Just had to get the blood flowing a little bit.
Love it.
See,
This fucking
I know
cold.
that I'm not drunk because I'm not being really awkward about how much I love Faramir yet.
Well, fucking drink then. Shit.
Yeah, so let's get
I'm
there.
working on it. I'm
Listen,
working on it. I'm
not-
talking too much.
Not to pressure you, but okay.
Not to pressure,
I have
but
a
drink.
thought.
I'm one of those cliche, like, you guys, I just love Faramir so much. That's me.
That's great.
That's me.
Listen,
So
listen, I love that, and I love that for you. I am TJ may be in a similar boat. I know we're similar ages. But I am very elder
what are you trying to say?
millennial.
You trying to
What
call me a baby? I'm of
yes,
age,
a little
George.
baby.
Come on.
No,
Wait, wait, you're 33 now, or you're 34, or
I
you're
will be turning 34 on the first day of Westmoot.
Oh
I love
shit.
that.
I owe you
TJ,
a
are you
shot
going?
then. Yeah, hell
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
George, you going?
No, I don't
Oh
think I can swing it.
no.
Both the money and the time off.
Yeah.
That's
That's
unfortunate. Well,
no, so
Jen,
we're
I owe you a
doing
shot. I owe you a shot on your birthday.
Wait, is it over a weekend? Is it over? When is the?
so it
It's
starts
Mother's
on
Day weekend.
it's Mother's Day weekend, but it starts on a Friday and it
Oh.
goes Saturday and Sunday.
I'm driving down Thursday.
Yeah. We're gonna
'Cause I'm
be
not sure.
actually
I've never.
there
I know there's an Amtrak
Tuesday.
that goes straight down there. Like
Oh,
I don't have the budget to swing actually going to Westmoot, but now I'm like, could I
George, get a ticket. I'll
could I
drive with
hop
me,
a
man.
train down
Well,
there?
the thing is, you'd have to take a week off because the following week, me and Lee are gonna road trip down to Georgia. I'm gonna drop her off at Emily's
Silmer
Silmarilla.
Elmo.
Oh,
Silmer Elmo.
I love that they know each other. I've never interacted with the two of them together. I don't know why that makes me so
I
happy.
see
Yeah.
the way I was introduced to Lee was the video that the two of them made together about Adar using the Feanorian lisp.
This is why David told me to, and I fucking let slip because I fucking didn't know it was a fucking secret. Because he messaged me on Instagram, but me, him, and Lee have a group message, and I didn't look if it was just him or if it was him and Lee.
No.
And so I said something in a live, and he was like, "Well, that was a secret." And I was like, "Oh fuck,
Oh,
it's my bad." But anyways,
dang, that makes me wish I
that
could-
is why David had the idea to nominate her for an award at Westmoot, which I did, and I hope, I don't know if anyone else saw the post.
I did.
I hope good, awesome, thank you. Yeah,
Lee has
she's
no
definitely
idea
the
who
one.
I am, but I love her.
Oh,
So.
she knows who you are.
Well, no,
Trust
not
me.
same because
That's
this gives-
ominous.
this
No,
gives me a
no,
chance.
not like ominously. Like no.
Lee,
I talk about people who have been on the podcast, and David and Lee are like, "Oh yeah, I know who that is." Like, it's not like she has no idea who you are.
Lee is the creator of my favorite joke in the history of anything ever.
Okay.
And she uses it a lot. And it's my favorite thing. Is that anytime somebody posts like a super crappy like AI something,
I know what you're talking about.
She will say, "R.I.P. Morgoth. You would have loved generative AI."
Yeah.
And
yeah.
every time I read it, I laugh out
It pops
loud.
up on my feed like
It
every
is
time she
so
posts
good,
it. It
'cause
is so good.
AI is so like that kind of AI is so asinine, and it's so
So,
exactly like what Morgoth's deal
here's the
is.
thing.
Like I want to create,
I
but I can't actually create.
used to be really bad at determining like what images were AI, because I would
Sure.
just I'm looking at I'm not looking at the whole picture. I'm not a whole picture when it comes to like art person. It takes me a long time to take everything in.
No, but that's like
So
a
I
thing.
made
Some people do.
her
Yeah.
David and I were talking about Reba and Mythros, which, by the way, drink.
But yeah, we'll drink Myros.
Gross.
Also, I
Well-
haven't mentioned this to her yet, but I'm on my reread of the Silmarillion
Nice.
for Jen's book club.
My book club.
And Mydros is
Well, drink again.
fantastic.
Mythros.
Damn it, drink again.
Like in my youth, I was fairly anti all Feanorians.
So was I.
And I rescind about half of it.
The Sea Suns can fuck right off.
Oh yes, absolutely. Honestly, after the first two, I'm done. The younger twins, whatever.
They don't do shit. They're around, and like
they're
in some
around and then
ratings, one
die.
of them dies.
Also,
like I mean, like on the ship is burned alive.
Yeah. This is an
Of course,
wait,
they
what?
all die except for Mekalaure.
Who's burned alive?
It's one of the Ambarusa.
Is that in the Silmarillion, or is that in
No, it's
something?
in
I was gonna say, because in the Silmarillion they just
that's the
both
other
die
thing.
in
Fuck,
the
that's
siege
the other one I forgot. If
Gloria.
Shibboleth is mentioned or Athrobeth, we have to drink. So now that's 3 drinks for me.
I have not read either of those. I need to catch up on.
Oh my god, George. We'll get to that. We'll get to
so
that.
You should submit that as one of the books that we read this year for the book club.
That's a great idea. Because here's the thing. Here's my weirdness with.
Here's the thing though. Athrobeth isn't a book, and neither is Shibboleth.
They're in History of Middle Earth, right?
They're in
one's
History of
one's
Middle
in
Earth.
Peoples and one's in Morgoth's Ring.
Yeah, so like, I'm saying we could read them both.
I mean, yeah, let's do it. Here's my like weirdness that I'm still navigating through.
Mm-hmm.
Is the peak previously of my Tolkien obsession was like childhood and teenage, and TJ, as you know, we are that was sort of pre-internet.
Yeah.
So in rural Tennessee, pre-internet rural Tennessee.
It wasn't really pre-internet for me.
I mean, it technically
was
also
it was like infancy of internet.
Yeah,
because like I remember when the films were coming out was when.
Oh yeah,
actually, when the films were announced, like 2 or 3 years earlier, is when I read The Lord of the Rings, and it took me a long time because I'm also dyslexic.
Oh, I mean that's terrible.
It's the worst. Like I'm doing tomorrow I'm doing a charity with Katie read Crossroads, and it's like, hey, read. Yeah, she's awesome. It was like, hey, read a passage, and I was like, okay, cool. So I went, and obviously, like, I gotta stay on brand. Finrod and Athrobeth. Give me a second. I gotta take a couple drinks.
Finrod.
So I'm gonna read part of that. And I was reading through it, and it's like her idea is like 10 minutes to read and 5 minutes for like discussion. And I picked a shorter passage from it because I know I'm gonna fuck up reading it because my brain gets ahead of me.
Sure.
Or my eyes get ahead of my brain. And then also like I switch letters all the time.
Yeah.
Drives me nuts.
I bet that makes all of the F names in the Silmarillion.
That's what I was just thinking.
Fun.
That took me fucking ever. Fucking ever.
It took me for fucking ever, and I'm not dyslexic.
Yeah,
except for fucking Finrod drink.
Finrod
drink.
When I first read Silmarillion, I didn't even finish it. I think I got through Beden and Luthien. And then I was just like, I'm good for now. Like I was like losing interest in Beden and Luthien too.
Yeah.
Just because of like
I get that.
It's such a different narrative. And I
it's
wasn't
not
expecting,
a narrative.
Yeah.
there's a narrative. It's just not the same type of narrative.
It's a bunch of little narratives.
It's a bunch of little narratives. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's not an
vignettes
overarching cohesive. Yeah.
Yeah. There are a bunch of vignettes that like are sometimes tied together, sometimes not. And if they are, it's like very tangentially.
If I can criticize, oh, I'm sorry.
No. I was just gonna say I do recall reading as much as I was able to read when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And my friend Eric, who is the only other person I knew that loved Tolkien like I did, like his dad got him into it, and he would try to Tolkien off with me, and he always won because he knew shit.
Sure. Yeah.
Although now I win because I've read much more than him,
which
makes me feel amazing. Although it is like fucking like an entire lifetime later from when we were that age. But I remember him saying like, hey, who's your favorite character so far? And I was like, Finrod. He goes, Finrod? Why?
Drink.
God damn it. Why am I doing that?
Yeah.
I do it to myself.
Yeah, TJ,
you did it to yourself that time.
Tell me more about Finrod.
Oh, damn it.
George.
Jorge. So I mentioned that specific character. Oh, I'm trying not to name again right now.
I'm feeling it, by the way.
I know. I stood up.
Starting to.
And I'm feeling it. But I told him, and he was like, him? He doesn't do shit. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, my favorite's Fingolfin. I'm like, why? Because he fights Morgoth?
I mean, like, to be fair, that fight is fucking dope as shit.
I agree. No, I agree. But I was like, wait a minute. You like
Yeah,
him for yeah, he's a badass. Don't get me wrong. Like, oh fuck, I mentioned him too. We got to drink for him because that's
We got to
David.
drink for Fingolfin.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to
Wait,
mention that
so you're
too.
gonna do? Are you
I'm gonna put a
drink
pause
I'm
on the
gonna
drinking.
die
I'm
of
gonna
fucking alcohol
I'm
poisoning.
just saying,
I'm gonna put a pause on
TJ.
the drinking game real quick
I was just
because
saying,
I'm gonna reiterate the drinking game because I keep forgetting until things are mentioned. Okay, fuck Elway Singolo or Syndiculo or Elway Thingle. I'm sorry, Elu Thingle. You don't have to, George.
oh right,
This
you
is
said
a
pause.
this is
pause.
timeout. This is
a
timeout
pause.
time.
Yeah, okay.
Finrod, Maithras, and any of their names, whether it's Quenya, Sindarin, their mother name, their father name, their epise, whatever. Also, if Shibboleth or Athrobeth are mentioned, Finwë no Finwë, Fingolfin, because David. David's got two. And I think that's it. Did I say any more? Now I'm really feeling it. Fuck.
Nice. Can I add one?
You may.
I feel
should
like this
fucking
would be
write this shit down. Let me get my
this would
red
be
book of West
important.
March. Oh,
This would
also,
be-
by the way, look what I have right here.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
Guess what's in this one? We're still paused on drinking game. Guess what's in this one?
Which one?
This is this is my
Athrobeth.
history. The history of Middle Earth, Volume 3. Athrobeth is in here, and what's the other one we drink
Is
for?
the Shibboleth of Fëanor in there?
Yes,
Yep.
Shibboleth is also in here. I should probably write this shit down, honestly.
Yeah,
'cause I always forget.
So I don't know if this is ever going to come up when I'm not on the podcast, but my wife will appreciate this. And also this is just a funny story about Rings of Power too.
Okay.
Is Gandalf loves hobbits. So anything about Gandalf relating to hobbits that you should drink about that. That is my wife's like battle cry. So my wife has only watched the movies, but like loves them. And so when we're watching Rings of Power, which like season 1 has so much like mystery box shit. My least favorite part and the least Tolkien-esque part of it.
I'm shaking my fist at the sky.
But like
listening.
literally, like so there's so much like, oh, who is he? Is it Gandalf? Is it something else?
Gandalf? Is it a blue wizard?
Like,
Is he
literally
Sauron?
From the moment that Nori finds the stranger, my wife is screaming, Gandalf loves hobbits. So like there was
Me
no
too.
like there was
I've
no
been in the same fucking boat. Like basically from the very beginning, I'm like, it's fucking Gandalf because they're trying to explain.
Because he loves hobbits.
Because they're trying to explain Gandalf's fondness for
my wife
hobbits.
just came into there to scream that.
Yes. But
you know
also,
drinking game's been paused, but I'll drink to.
Oh, we got to drink to it now. It's on the drinking list.
I'm not drinking to that. But also, I feel like in a show called fucking Rings of Power, it's gonna be about the fucking ring bearers. Therefore, Gandalf. Hello.
Oh, that's so good. I hadn't thought about that. That's so because I've always felt mixed feelings. I guess we're getting into Rings of Power now. Here we go.
Hold on, real quick.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we can, but real quick, let me double check, and I'm putting a pause back on drinking game just so I can say these names.
Yeah,
I'm gonna time out for a second.
Thank you, Jen. I appreciate you.
Yeah, we'll time
drink
out.
You
don't have to drink when you say it this time.
Finderato.
No, wait, hang on. Okay, because I don't have.
I'm going to do this in Quenya. I'm doing this in Quenya.
God.
Well, except I didn't do 2 of them in Quenya. I did the names.
Do them in. I don't have David's blue sky in front of me.
Listen, hold on. If I say Finderato, who does that remind you of?
That's Finrod, right?
There we go.
Yeah.
Nola Finwë.
Nola Finwë. That's Fingolfin, right?
Yes.
Okay. See, because I've been listening to your podcast with David on it, with his blue sky, his tweets about here's what these names, because I cannot keep track. I am not smart enough to know Elvish Latin.
Elvish. It is Elvish Latin.
Elvish Latin.
Yeah.
Let's do this. All
but
right.
Hey. It's based loosely on Finnish. So
it is based loosely on Finnish.
It is.
But I'm more partial to Welsh as well. So I
agreed.
That's why you like the
Sindarin as well.
Sindarin feels. This is a whole different episode. We went off the rails and I love it.
Let's do 8 more episodes. Yeah.
Let's do 8 more episodes. What kind of elf would you be?
I would be the House of Otta Finwë. Oh fuck, that's another one. Otta Finwë.
Let me
Your bitch is not leaving Middle Earth. Just to be clear.
I love
I
that.
spelled his name wrong. I don't know how to
We
spell
just
things
made my
anymore.
wife mad, by the way,
Why?
because she is not literally, not actually mad, but she's teasing me now because we went from Gandalf loves hobbits, which like Jeanette,
There
my
it is.
wife, loves like Lord of the Rings in the Broads thing. She has no time
Mhm.
for the like Silmarillion history of Middle Earth shit. So we're talking about Gandalf and hobbits, and she's out here getting another drink or whatever, and she's so happy. And then now we're talking about Quenya versus Sindarin and Finnish, and she's like, "You were fun for 5 seconds."
Okay, so back to this. All right.
Anyway, sorry.
So no, let's continue this like Quenya lesson because like I don't know a lot, and David and Lee are so sweet because I did this on my live the other night, and I was like, listen, these two know way more than me, and
They
they
are
both were
so
like,
smart. It's
they
exhausting.
were both like, TJ, you know a lot of stuff, like
Yeah,
you
so
don't
You
need to
are
put
you.
yourself
Yeah.
down.
TJ.
And I
Come
was
on,
like,
give
Yeah,
yourself
you're
some
also
cred.
exhausting to me.
Put some cred on your name.
Put
Yeah,
some,
for
put some
sure.
credit on your name. I just like I mean I know things sometimes, but they
You
know
know many
far more.
things
I don't know.
all
I
the
still
time.
You
sometimes I
know
feel like a
many
fraud.
things.
I have like imposter syndrome being part of the Tolkien community.
That's insane. Listen.
Preaching to the choir, my friend. Like,
Jen, you give me imposter syndrome. Damn it!
what?
You know so fucking much.
That's not true.
Well,
That's
Listen,
impossible.
my
That's
friends,
impossible.
my friends, this is why I am here to help everyone out of imposter syndrome because I'm very big into Tolkien,
Yeah.
but I'm also here just screaming shit like Gandalf loves hobbits because like I can follow along and I can, I enjoy the Silmarillion.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, I'm just a fat little hobbit who's out here for an adventure and just enjoys this crap. And like uh, I don't know. So I just like both of you are so smart and so great. And yes, I get TJ, you spent a lot of time with David and
I do.
Lee, and they are just
They are
giant.
Their memories are
Yeah.
like I will,
Jesus.
I'll harp this till I die, but I swear having COVID made me dumber. And
That's
Why
legitimately
do you say that?
scientifically a thing.
I'm saying like I really feel like having COVID like made me have fewer brain cells.
Listen, you're very smart to me, but also I want
Why,
to
though?
verify. I want to just confirm for you that is actually legitimately like a
Yeah.
verified like symptom
Yeah.
of long COVID
Mhm.
and just the
I like how we all, well, not, I mean, 'cause George has been amazing. So me and Jen just like fucking neoned on the two trees. Like we just cried to water the two trees. And George is over here being Nirvana singing to help us grow.
Yeah, that's
Thank
right.
you. Thank you for that, George.
That's
Right.
exactly right.
Anyways,
You're my commentary. Thank you.
Aw. I have a question, George.
Yes.
If I were to say Nelio Finway, who would that be?
Nelio Finway?
Yeah. If I were to say my Timo.
That's my draw.
There we go. That's another one. We're still on pause for drinking game, guys.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay, good.
Yep.
Not that I
Yep.
stopped drinking.
Okay, so we
I
got
would
Finderato.
legit die of alcohol poisoning
Yeah,
for
yeah.
this.
So we have Finderato, Nolo Finway, Nelio Finway, Fuck Elway, or Sindiculo, or Singolo, because
I was gonna say, what is the actual Quenya? Because David's
so here's the thing.
pun.
Elu Thingol is the Sindarin of
Yeah, I know the
Elway
Sindarin, yeah.
Singolo.
And if we're going to be talking about Eluthingal, I think we should be using Sindarin. Just saying.
I disagree.
His name. It is his name, though.
It's
the name he chose.
You know what his given name is?
Yes, Elway.
Yes. But are we?
Wait, hang on.
Are we
Elway
not going to
Singolo?
respect people's chosen names on this podcast?
That's true. Damn it, Jen.
Feels like a thing you and I should not be doing. Yeah.
Damn it.
We should be respecting people's chosen names.
Damn it.
That's
I hate
part of
Elway
my.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, David. I love you, but
yeah.
I think Jen just changed my mind.
Yeah. See, that's part of my
I
beef.
think Jen just changed my mind. Fuck. That's such a good point. Fuck.
That's part of my beef with the
Let me just go ahead and cross out Elway and write Thingle.
That's
part
why
of my beef
I
with
use
the Quenya.
Eluthingal.
Yeah.
So
it is what he chose to go by.
Is it what he chose to go by?
Well,
it's just a different. See, here's the difference though, because like it's not really a dead name.
No,
In
and
that-
then I
in that
notice
sense.
I never said
Yeah.
the word dead name.
Yeah,
No,
don't
I just
say it.
I
I'm saying
equated
don't
it. I
say it.
equated it in my own head. So it's not really a dead name. It's just he spoke a different language. I guess that is akin to being named. Well, George, your name. I called you Jorge earlier.
All right, yeah.
That's
Which
akin
is
to
something
being
people call
called.
me on a regular basis, but
It's akin to being called, like being born Jorge, moving somewhere that doesn't speak Spanish, and then saying like, you know what, fuck it, I'm George, and then
Yeah.
like people coming over and be like, I'm gonna still call you Jorge, and you're just like, no, use the American
yeah, that's what I've chosen.
English, whatever the
Yeah.
fuck. I've had some drinks.
I mean, I would say more personally, for me, as someone whose given name is Jennifer, I do not like being called Jennifer. Please don't call me Jennifer.
Oh,
Yeah.
if anybody ever called me
Well-
Thomas, I would punch them in the face.
Like
No, well,
that's not like, yes, it is technically
Well, except for my parents.
name.
we are all in the same boat here.
I don't punch my parents in the face.
My first name is Zachary. Do not call me Zachary.
I didn't know that.
I don't know
Interesting.
No.
either.
Yeah.
But yeah,
no.
like
Do
I
not
don't
call me
want
that.
people calling me Jennifer.
Yeah.
Like Corinne, Hobbit at Heart,
Mhm.
we were like on a Discord chat talking about Lotro, and she was like, oh, so do you prefer like Jen or Jenny or Jennifer? I was like, one, never call me Jenny. I didn't say that because I was being too nice, but don't call me Jenny, because that's what I went by for 12 fucking years of my life. No, thank you. That was the name that my parents chose to call me as a nickname. And I'm like, no, no,
never thought
no,
about
no,
that.
no. So I also was specifically banned by my mother from going by Jen instead of Jenny.
Oh,
Like,
Really?
Jen
That's
is a
awful.
perfectly common shortening of Jennifer, but
That's-
because my mom's name is Jan, short for Jeanette, which is funny because
that's
your
my
wife's
wife's name. Yeah, yeah.
But
Wait a
Do
minute.
not
Wait a
call
minute.
her
Wait a minute.
Jan.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Jan is short for Jeanette.
in my mom's case, yes.
Oh, okay.
But she
I thought
was
it was
like,
like
oh,
all encompassing.
she was like, oh, you can't go by Jen because Jen is too similar to Jan, and I don't want to get confused. And I was like, well, you're the one who named me Jennifer.
Yeah, that was your
Like, it's
Yeah.
not like I'm sitting here like wanting to go by some absurd, weird shortening of Jennifer. Like,
Yeah. It's like a
your
fairly
lack
standard.
of foresight on your part is not my fault, not my problem.
You never
So-
like, did you ever entertain the idea of going by Iffer?
I did have friends call me Niffer for a while as a joke in
That's
middle
kind of
school.
adorable,
Well,
I
you-
gotta be honest. Like Niffer's such kind of
Because-
a cool name.
Because when in 7th grade, I decided that I didn't want to be Jenny anymore. And I started telling teachers and friends to call me Jen instead. And my mom found out and freaked out and
Mm,
like literally forbade me from going by anything but Jenny.
mhm.
And I was like, fine, I guess. But then in 8th grade, I was like, no, you know what? Fuck you. And I decided that I was telling all my teachers to call me Jen and telling all my friends to call me Jen. My mom was so pissed, but I was like, nope, I don't care. I don't want you to call me Jenny. So for me, Eluthingal wanting to be called Eluthingal is
Yeah.
kind of near and dear to my heart. Like
That's why I scratched out Elway, Jen. You
Yep.
convinced me.
Yeah. Well,
You
and
convinced
here's the
me.
other thing. Here's the other thing about the Quenya Sindarin thing is that like the Silmarillion says, like, yes, also, you know, Thingol, who sucks. I assume we're on pause.
fuck Eluthingal.
Oh no, we are not on pause. Unless you
You know,
want me
even
to
though he
edit all
banned
that out.
Quenya, it also specifies that like the Noldor had an easier time learning Sindarin than the reverse.
I kind of
like-
love that because it just means that the Noldor either there's two options. Either the Noldor were just smarter than the Sindar, or
Them's fighting words.
or
Yada.
what-
For those of you listening at home, we are both making cartoon fists at TJ right now.
or that Quenya was just too difficult to learn.
Yeah, too
I
many
mean,
vowels at the end. It's
That
weird.
is one of the
Silly.
things.
You don't have to put an E at the end of every
they have
stinking
said
word.
it's
They don't.
generally considered that
Finderato, not Finderati.
Finnish, which Quenya is loosely based on Finnish, that
Mhm.
Finnish is the most difficult language for non-native speakers to learn.
I have heard that, but I also, being a House of Otto Stan,
I get it.
I just assume that the Sindar aren't as smart
But
as the
also,
Mordor.
technically, Jennifer is a variant of Guinevere. So technically, people should be calling me Gwyn, not Jen.
If you'd like, I can call you Gwen from now on.
If that would make you happy.
No, it's your name.
That's the important thing about names.
Exactly.
Damn it, Jen. Damn it. Did you just lead me?
TJ.
Did you just like fucking lead me like a fucking rat to cheese to the point? Damn it. All right. Anyways, fuck Thingol. Drink. This time we're not paused. After this, we're paused again. All right.
But also at some point we should get back to our original.
We will. I just want to make sure we get the drinking game right.
We are all at least minimum level mildly intoxicated.
100%.
So we're gonna go off the rails here a little bit.
Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 more. Okay. Atherbeth is a drink. Shibboleth.
We're still going through
Yes.
Wait, a drink at the mention of that book?
Of the Atherbeth, yes.
Yeah.
Atherbeth i Finrod.
Oh, I didn't finish my thing about
Atherbeth. Atherbeth Finrad Andreth.
Ryan, you talk about being
which is in Quenya would be Artikitie Finderato.
Listen, no offense to David, I don't care.
David, I love you.
What's this?
But I will always call
we love you,
Atherbeth.
David. But you're not here, so Sindarin, please.
Does sound cool. Anyways,
please.
Also Shibboleth would be Shibbolesse.
Wait, no, but okay. Listen,
What?
I haven't read the Shibboleth of Feanor, so I assume this is explained in there. But Shibboleth is a friggin' Hebrew word. Shibboleth, that's from the Bible.
No, I know that.
Okay.
I didn't know that when I read it. I didn't realize. I didn't make the connection when I read
it's
Shibboleth.
It's a Hebrew word. In the Bible, they can tell whether or not someone is genuinely actually Hebrew or a spy from the other nation, because the other nation didn't make the SH. I can't remember. David's gonna be disappointed in me. I can't remember the linguistic sound, but the sh sound. So they would say Sibboleth.
Yeah.
And so they knew they weren't actually a native Israeli because they couldn't pronounce.
Yeah. So he changed it from the sh sound to the th sound.
And that's how we bring in the Chuzdul.
And that's how we bring in the Chuzdul.
There we go.
Okay, so there's 2 more. Otto Finway. Who's Otto Finway, George? Since we're doing
Quenya, it's one of the ones y'all talk about a lot, but
yeah. So if I said Finway, Otto Finway.
I mean, they're all Finway.
So this is correct. But there's only 2 who put the There's only 2 who either put or had put the Finway in front of their name. Nola Finway is.
That's Fingolfin.
Okay. Finway. Okay, so Finway, Nola Finway, Fingolfin. Finway, Ara Finway, and knowing that Finway, Nola Finway, you take the way out of Finway, Nola Finway, you would have Fin Nola Finway, right? So, and the Nolo has a ng sound. It's generally like that's what that little weird line above the end is.
I'll give you a hint. He's someone's dad.
Yeah.
Someone
that tells me that only tells me it's not Finrod.
Yeah, who's Finrod's dad?
Who's Finrod's dad?
What? Wait, who's Fin? Oh, I just spilled.
George just spilled. I love you so much, George. Yes.
Okay, I'm on my wife's desk. Let me make sure I'm not on my wife's keyboard. Okay, nope, just on the desk. Okay, cool.
so Finway is Quenya for Finn,
which means hair.
Which means hair.
Which means hair. Right.
I know that.
We discussed that in book club last week.
Oh yeah, we did. That's right.
Take off. Okay, so you've got Finn and Finn, right? In between Finn and Finn, you have this Ara, right?
Ara.
Take off the second A.
Finarfin.
There we go. So Finarfin or Otto Finway is mentioned. We drink. And newly from George, Gandalf loves hobbits. From Jeanette.
Yeah, it was from Jeanette.
Yes, from Jeanette. Gandalf loves. I'll drink to that.
Now, yes.
Gandalf loves hobbits.
Thank you both so much for being here. I really appreciate you. Jen, where can people find you if they want to keep talking with you about any Lord of the Rings content?
You can find me on Threads at Elvish_Groves, as well as Twitch. I stream Lord of the Rings online on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. You can also find me on Blue Sky at Elvish-Groves and Instagram and all those other fun places.
Perfect. George, where can people find you?
So you can find me on Blue Sky and Threads, and also Instagram and theoretically TikTok, but haven't done much yet. But you can find me at George and Such on any of those platforms. But I mostly am on Blue Sky and Threads at the moment. Hoping to be on TikTok, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's been an evening for sure. Anyways, thank you both for being here. I really appreciate you both. Have a good night.
Absolutely.
We're going to do it for this episode of Tolkien on Tap. Thank you for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe and follow me on any of my social medias. I'm on Threads, Instagram, Blue Sky, and TikTok at @the_Neej. Namarie.